The anthem of the Russian Federation, sung by those inside the stadium here in St. Petersburg, for what is a game between the side ranked 9th in the world rankings and Russia, who are ranked at 63rd currently. For France, they suffered a 3-2 home defeat after being 2-up against Colombia in the Stade de France on Friday night. 7 changes from that from Didier Deschamps. The only players to keep their places: Lloris, Umtiti, Kante and Kylian Mbappe. It is an exciting, youthful-looking France 11 with an average age of just 24. For Russia, well, it is a fairly similar lineup to that played the other night. Andrei Lunyov comes in, though, in goal, while the likes of Neustadter, Zhirkov, Zagoyev and Yerokin all come into the starting lineup. Of course, Russia at the moment are without 2 of their first-choice central defenders. Georgy Chikir, Viktor Vasin will miss the World Cup after suffering knee ligament injuries, and they've been joined by the striker of Zenit, the club, of course, that hosts this game, Alexander Kokorin, who ruptured his knee ligaments in the last couple of weeks. Well, Russia is looking forward to welcoming the World Cup, but if the result on Friday in the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow is anything to go by, it could be a very, very tough tournament for Fyodor Smolov and the rest of his teammates. They lost 3-0 at home to Brazil in the National Stadium on Friday. They've not won in their last 4 games since they beat South Korea, and it promises to be a very tough hosting for them of the tournament, coming to Russia for the first time. For France, of course, well, it's a case of, can they fulfill the potential that is shown amongst their playing squad? Of course, we have seen in the last few days a real tragedy in Russia with the fire in Kemerovo that took so many lives, and the lives of so many young people as well. The French players gathered this morning to pay tribute of the white shirts and the blue shorts. Russia in their home kit for the World Cup, and they get us underway. This is Mbappe, still only 19, remember, Kylian Mbappe, and steps away brilliantly from the attentions of the defender Neustadter, who was left in his wake. Just that electric burst from Kylian Mbappe. And tonight winning his 17th cap, that's a decent ball. And goalkeeper Hugo Lloris had to in July. This was a decent ball, looking for Samyedov. It didn't quite come round enough for him. Get in his stride, but this is Martial, and Pogba's made a really good run. Lunyov able to get up and gather. The Manchester United pair very nearly combining that with his hand, didn't he, Pogba? Managed to. This is Yerokin. It's a goal kick. It wasn't the most convincing strike from Alexander Yerokin, who does pack a punch from distance, but never really set himself for the shot there. Ugly looking at. That's a lovely ball forward, the run, and the strike by Martial. It comes to Mbappe. It's a fairly straightforward save for Lunyov, and one perhaps Alexei Miranchuk. Just have a watch here as the ball comes forward, and N'Golo Kante makes a really good run. Pogba picks him out, and you feel that once the ball breaks here for Mbappe, it's the simplest task in the world, but maybe a little half-hearted. It's Martial towards Koscielny. Couldn't quite get a touch on the ball, and Lunyov. That's a good ball, and Mbappe's broken the gap. He's got Neustadter to beat. He does beat him, and he beats the goalkeeper as well, and France lead. It's Kylian Mbappe's 2nd international goal, and once he got the opportunity, he wasn't going to turn it down, and France have forced their way through. Pogba saw the run, Granat couldn't cut it out, and Mbappe took his time and kept his cool. And he beat the goalkeeper, Andrei Lunyov. Real calmness about the way that Mbappe finished, and France lead. From Russia's point of view, it isn't a great goal to concede. Granat. It's in a really good position for him. Pogba with a 5-man defensive wall and beats Lunyov. It's a super goal by Paul Pogba. Picks out the back of the net exquisitely. And Pogba makes it 2-0 to France. It's a really clinical and special free kick from a supremely gifted player. Won the free kick, decided what he wanted to do, and executed perfectly. Right into the corner of the goal. No chance at all for Lunyov. He couldn't even get near it. Excellent from Paul Pogba. It's his 9th international goal. Probably the best of them as well. He's 55. The easiest ball for Lunyov to deal with. It's a super flick by Smolov. Yerokin for Smolnikov. Smolnikov looks up and delivers now. It's towards Smolov. That's a brilliant goal. Fantastic goal from Russia. They've moved it from one end of the field to the other. And Smolnikov picks out his captain. And with a quarter of the game to go, Russia are back in it. Really, really well worked. Just to watch the way now, as the header comes off from Smolov. Yerokin onto Smolnikov, and in the middle you can see Smolov there, pointing to where he wants it. He got it exactly where he wanted it, and finished it brilliantly. Super cross by Smolnikov, and the Russian captain makes it 2-1. Since been hope for Russia. Now, of course, playing his football with Villarreal. This is his 10th cap for his country. Is Mbappe? Oh, it's brilliant. He squeezed it in as well. Kylian Mbappe beats his man and wraps the game up, firing through the legs of Andrei Lunyov. Clinical once again from Kylian Mbappe. And from having 1 goal in his first 10 appearances, he's now got 2 in 1 for his country. The goalkeeper will be very disappointed that it squeezed through his legs. But as Matuidi found Mbappe, Neustadt wrong-footed, almost sent to ground, and Lunyov embarrassed by the brilliant young talent that is Kylian Mbappe. Little bit of skill, little trick. Neustadt didn't know which way to go, and Lunyov beaten through his legs. You have to give credit to Russia. They did make a game of it in this second half after going 2 down, and they're still fighting now. Smolov, he is more than capable of getting a goal or two when the World Cup arrives in June. A player who very nearly left Russian football in the winter transfer window in the France squad, would have had the big say in St. Petersburg tonight. 2 goals from